So, hi, this is Neil again. This is my newest project. It is a web form made out using Angular4, Entity Framework, and C Sharp. So, I'll just give you a tour of what I did. I used Visual Studio to build it out. It'll start up. I used the Yeoman, Angular4, and .NETCore template in order to build this out. So it generates the basic structure of the project, and you just work with that and build it out. It helps get rid of a lot of redundant tasks. So now it's compiling, and it will open up a browser for me in a few seconds. So for authentication, what I used was Auth0. So I didn't really build out any internal framework. So for authentication, although I do track profiles and stuff, I don't do any tracking of sessions in this project. So, see, so this is the web form I built. I called it TechX. Sure, I'll actually put it up online, but for now I see no reason to, because it was a learning project. So if I click on New Question, as you can see, it's going to bring up the Auth0 login screen. So I cannot access certain pages. I am logged in. Using code. And it was relatively easy, oddly enough. So one, I used the auth card on the front end and to prevent unauthorized access from authorized access of particular API functions. I used the authorized keyword. So yeah, Entity Framework is quite easy in order to guard. I also have lazy loading in there and eager loading. So now I will show you me logging into the actual application. All the authentication is done using Auth0. I didn't implement any authentication on my side. I figured it wasn't necessary since I was just using this to learn. So when I go to questions, these are simple questions I put in, and are extensions I made, as well as replies question. So let me actually create a new question and show you how it works. We have a minimum question length. So let's say we'll make a question: what meaning of life? I will ask this question. So it shows me a question preview in a modal. I clicked post. Which errored out. Oh, made the details field mandatory. I don't want to. recommend. Okay, so I'll preview and ask it, post it, and I created a question. So at the moment, I can post opinions to my own question. The way I set it up, so let's say I sent it, refreshes the page, then correct that I put in the wrong posted date. And to each of these replies, you can actually reply to it. Or I'll make it so that you cannot reply to your own opinion, but for now, I won't. So I'll say yes, there is you liar. Something weird happened. Go to the end, pagination here as well. Okay, so I got it working just so you're aware of what happened. It's when I was mapping my replies, I forgot to include the replies user, the person that created the reply. As a result, on the front end, what was happening was that over here, I was rendering information from the user in the front end, and since it couldn't find it, Angular4 failed to, well, didn't render the page. It didn't give me an error, but it wasn't rendering the page. But yeah, so I realized what was happening. I fixed it. So here's the actual answer to the question. Here is the reply to the question, and I can add another reply. No, there isn't. Then I will click reply. And then it's loading. I should put a loading screen there. There was another problem. In the database, when I create a new reply, which is a text extension, I wasn't associating a user with that reply. So, yeah, just but I got to learn the ins and outs of Entity Framework, and that's all for this.